November 2018. A scientific conference in Hong Kong. A young Chinese scientist walks onto the stage. He's about to announce something the world will never forget. I have created the first babies with edited genes. The entire auditorium falls silent. Not because this is a great scientific achievement, but because humanity has just crossed a line no one knew whether we should cross. And 1 year later, that scientist went to prison. His name is He Jiankui. In 2018, he was an associate professor at Southern University of Science and Technology in Shenzhen. His field, biophysics. Not a medical doctor, never trained in bioethics. But He Jiankui had an audacious idea. He wanted to use CRISPR technology, a powerful gene editing tool, to create babies resistant to HIV. Sounds noble, right? But wait, He Jiankui didn't ask for government permission, had no legitimate medical oversight. He did everything in absolute secrecy. From December 2017 to March 2018, He Jiankui recruited 7 couples, all sharing one characteristic: HIV-positive fathers, HIV-negative mothers. According to Chinese regulations, HIV-positive fathers weren't allowed to use in vitro fertilization. This was the loophole He Jiankui exploited. He promised them an opportunity, a chance to have children, and their children would never contract HIV. But there was one strange detail no one knew at the time. The gene He Jiankui planned to edit had nothing to do with preventing HIV transmission from father to child. Before diving deeper into the case, we need to understand what He Jiankui did. What is CRISPR? Imagine your genome as a book 3 billion letters long. CRISPR is a super precise surgical scissors. It can find exactly one sentence in that book, cut it out, and replace it with a new sentence. This technology was discovered in 2012 by 2 scientists, Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Charpentier. In 2020, they received the Nobel Prize. CRISPR opened up countless possibilities, curing genetic diseases, improving crops, even designing humans. And this is what He Jiankui focused on, the CCR5 gene. This gene produces a type of protein on the surface of immune cells. This protein is called the CCR5 receptor, and this is the doorway HIV uses to enter cells. But nature has a strange phenomenon. About 1% of the European population is born with a natural mutation in the CCR5 gene. This mutation is called delta 32. It makes the CCR5 receptor non-functional. The result? These people are resistant to HIV. They live completely normal lives, no serious health problems. This is exactly what He Jiankui wanted to recreate, artificially, in human embryos. But the question is, why do this when HIV can be completely prevented with modern medical measures? He Jiankui performed in vitro fertilization, taking sperm from the father, eggs from the mother. When the embryos formed, he injected CRISPR into them. The goal? Edit the CCR5 gene to create a mutation similar to delta 32. November 2018, twin baby girls were born. He Jiankui gave them the pseudonyms Lulu and Nana. This was the first time in history. 2 babies born with edited genes, and there was a 3rd baby from another couple. But information about this baby remains unclear. November 2018, He Jiankui announced it on YouTube. Then he presented at the International Summit on Human Genome Editing in Hong Kong. The reaction? The world was shocked, but not because this was a great breakthrough. This was an ethical disaster. Leading scientists spoke out. They called He Jiankui's actions irresponsible, too hasty, violating all international ethical standards. Robin Lovell Badge, a stem cell biologist at the Francis Crick Institute in England, said, "This is a crime against the entire scientific community." Fyodor Urnov, a CRISPR researcher at the University of California, Berkeley, stated the name CRISPR babies will forever be associated with a badge of shame in the public mind. Why? First, He Jiankui forged ethical approval documents. He submitted a document with a forged signature. The hospital he cited denied it. They said there were no such records. Second, the doctors involved in the in vitro fertilization had no idea the embryos had been gene edited. He Jiankui deceived them. Third, the consent forms from the couples? Incomplete, not up to standard. They didn't understand all the risks. Fourth, and most importantly, the science behind this experiment had major problems. Kiran Musunuru, a professor of medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, said He Jiankui is not a medical doctor. He has no medical training, no clinical trial experience, yet he unilaterally conducted experiments on humans. And there was another problem even He Jiankui didn't anticipate. One of the twin babies wasn't completely edited. That baby had both edited and unedited cells. This is called mosaicism, meaning the baby could still contract HIV. But it gets worse. In 2019, a study in Nature Medicine analysed genetic data from over 400,000 people. The result? People with the CRISPR mutation are more likely to die from West Nile virus and more susceptible to severe flu. George Darley, Dean of Harvard Medical School, said, "This is a lesson in humility. Gene editing isn't just cutting out a piece of DNA. Each gene can affect many other functions in the body, and we don't fully understand it yet." November 29th, 2018, 3 days after He Jiankui's announcement, Chinese authorities suspended all his research activities. They called his work extremely abominable in nature. December 2018, He Jiankui disappeared from public view. Rumours circulated that he was detained. His university denied it. December the 30th, 2019. The Nanshan District Court in Shenzhen issued its verdict. He Jiankui was sentenced to 3 years in prison. The charge? Illegal medical practice. He was also fined 3 million yuan, equivalent to $434,000 US. His 2 collaborators, Zhang Renli and Qin Jinzhou, were also convicted. Zhang received 2 years, Qin 18 months. Both were banned from working with human reproductive technology for life. April 2022, He Jiankui was released. And here's the most shocking part. He didn't quietly retreat. He returned to science. In 2023, NPR journalist John Ruich interviewed He Jiankui. He now lives on the outskirts of Beijing, established a new lab, researching gene editing to cure Duchenne muscular dystrophy. What about the 3 babies? He Jiankui refused to give details. They are living normal and peaceful lives. His prison experience? I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let the past be the past. Sounds remorseful, right? But the scientific community doesn't think so. Kiran Musunuru, professor of medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, warned, he's continuing. I see everything repeating itself. September 2023. He Jiankui was appointed director of the pharmacology laboratory at Wuchang University of Technology. A Chinese university hired him back. The He Jiankui case raises big questions about humanity's future. What happened to those 3 babies? In 2025, Lulu and Nana are 7 years old. The 3rd baby is about 6. They live with edited genes for life. And if they have children, those genes pass to the next generation. We have permanently altered the human gene pool. Who's responsible for monitoring them? So far, unclear. Will this happen again? After He Jiankui, China tightened regulations. The US banned the FDA from approving human embryo gene editing experiments. But CRISPR technology is now too accessible. Anyone with basic biology knowledge can use it. And He Jiankui didn't work alone. Michael Dean, a professor at Rice University in the US, participated in the project. John Zhang, head of a large IVF clinic in New York, had plans to commercialize this technology. Many scientists knew, some encouraged it, but when everything exploded, they went silent. Wei Wensheng, a researcher at Peking University, said, He Jiankui's sentence is a warning. But is that enough? Gene editing technology has the potential to save millions of lives, cure cancer, eliminate genetic diseases, even fight aging. But it could also create a world where humans are designed to order, where the wealthy can buy perfect genes for their children, where the line between curing disease and enhancing humans disappears. He Jiankui crossed that line, and now we can't go back. The question is no longer, can we do it? It's, should we do it? And who gets to decide?